Today is the day. Today is the day that I start. Today is the day that I do it. Today is the day that I say I'm just gonna follow through. You know what I mean? And if you're anything like me, starting is the hardest part. It is the most challenging. And as I have found, I have been making it way more difficult than it needs to be. So maybe some of the stuff in this video might resonate with you. So let's jump into it. So here's number one. I try to keep myself from overthinking it. And as somebody who's been a lifelong overthinker, I can say respectfully, you're probably doing too much. I am always doing too much. And we are doing too much. Like it to start doesn't require everything to be in place, and having as much hindsight as I have now, I am realizing that I will use anything as an excuse as to why it's not time, why maybe if I wait a little longer to start, that it might be better, like being a mom, being a homemaker. Oh, I haven't been a photographer for that long. I haven't been making videos that long. I don't know anything about this, or I only have a little bit of knowledge on whatever it is. And all of those things over the years have just stopped me from starting because I am an overthinker. I think things through to my detriment. And yeah, I just really try to preface all of the ideas I have by just telling myself, you're overthinking this. Let's just move on to the next step. Let's move on to step 2, shall we? This sounds harsh, but I need to be direct. I'm not saying that having an arsenal of tools isn't beneficial, or that timing doesn't matter, or even that a plan isn't necessary. I'm saying that the peak creativity shows itself within constraints. Here's an example. I love to see a video postcard come across my timeline. I see it and think, that's beautiful. I want to try that. If I ever make it out of the overthink phase from before, the mistake I believe I make most of the time is this. I see something I want to try, and when I decide that today is the day, I bring everything I own with me. This is just my example because I am a photographer, so like this is the only thing that I have that's applicable, like kind of applicable to this, but I just try to kill my options before I even leave the house. I try to decide this is what I'm doing and these are the tools that I'm using, and I will just have to figure it out. Most times I feel uneasy, I feel a bit uncomfortable, but once I'm kind of out in the field, if you will, I really relax into the constraints that I've made for myself, and I end up coming home with something that was worth the trip, like something that was worth all of the hullabaloo that I just went through to try and create like as little mental fatigue as possible, as little overwhelm as possible, and I am more motivated to go out and do it again. So I really try to eliminate as many options as I can, and sometimes I actually end up learning a lot too, because I'm like, oh, I left this at home. I should have brought it with me. Next time I'll bring it with me, so that I don't run into the same issue. Because then I think that you kind of just realize what all the issues are. So that's just another thing I do to get further along in starting a thing, is helping myself, essentially. You know? So I just heard another creator say this, so I can't even take credit myself. Doing nothing feels safer. It's so true, isn't it? I literally was just talking to my husband last night, and he was like, is this your way of, is this the perfect, you're like trying to perfectionist your way through this video? Like, does this mean that you're just not going to do it? And that's just so true. It's just how our brains work. If something uncertain is approaching, staying put or doing what we've been doing just is safer. Ah, brightness. Oh my gosh. So what does this mean? I should expect that I'm going to retreat back to safety, and I should anticipate these feelings, especially when I'm starting something new, especially when I know that I'm not sure how this is going to go or how it's going to feel. I should expect that. And I heard this from another creator also. Sometimes it's just helpful to write down your experience. So over the last couple of years, I have just documented like when I started something or when I wanted to try something or start something and I never did, or I did and it was too scary or my anxiety rose up. What was I feeling? Like, what did I do? Did I respond quickly? Was it delayed? How did those things show up in my body? Like, did I find other things to do? Like, for me, I will find a mundane task to make it happen. Okay, I'm like, oh, did I need to clean behind the TV console today? Probably not, but I will be doing it because I'm supposed to be doing something hard today. Because at the end of the day, the more information I have on myself, like the more information I have to hack myself in the moment quickly, like sooner, the deeper I'll get into the process of what I actually wanted to try or start, begin. You know what I mean? And I think for me, it's been a frustrating experience over the years to deal with wanting to do something and doing the research, laying out the plan and imagining a start that is actually the stop, if that makes sense. Like, I can just see a thing, but when it actually comes to executing it, I am so, I get so caught up. I cannot tell you how many times I have let my perfectionism leave me with literally nothing but how much time has passed. I think I'm at the point where I hate that feeling more than I don't like the discomfort of trying or the pain of doing and just throwing myself out there into the uncertainty and whatever else. The main thing about perfectionism, though, at least for me, is that it puts me in direct opposition to having faith. And I think that faith requires a certain kind of belief that God is intentional. And I've just had to come up with ways to remind myself that God is intentional. And here are all the things that I have seen over the years in my own life and other people's lives that I'm like, you know what? No, that is not a coincidence. So I have to believe that He is intentional about where I am and what He's led me through and what He's carried me through and what He's allowed me to experience in my life. And also believe that He is intentional about how He made me, like how I see things, how things, like how ideas and just the creativity comes out of me, like that was all intentional. That was all on purpose. And I don't need to try to finagle it or piece it together in the way that I think is great or better because it's already been done. So I've just wrestled with this through the years, kind of just feeling the nudge or having an idea like, oh, should I run with this? Praying about it, like, is this it? Like, should I do it? And then as I begin to start, there are just so many details that I care about the details, but so many details that come up. I'm like, oh no, that's not, we can't do it because this is not in place. And this is, if we can't, then it's not coming together. And no. So then I don't start. And then I just sit and watch time pass. And then the worst part, like I mentioned before, is coming to a moment where you realize, like, dang, I could have just kept going. If I would have just let that go and kept going, I would have a year of just something to show. I would have 2 years of something to show. And if you're someone who believes in the Lord like I do, like I would have had 2, 3, 4, for me, 8 years of obedience and faith to show. So letting go of those flaws, if you will, like letting go of those internal challenges, especially for me, the perfectionism is hard. Having faith is hard. But I do think that it is necessary. And I do think there's a reason why the Lord is truly pleased. Like He places high value on having faith. And perfectionism just stomps out faith. End of the story, bottom line, full stop. And I have just told myself over and over, I've written it down in journals, like, look, if you want to move forward, you have to leave the perfectionism behind. You have to let go, for me, of the details that you think will make it perfect, and allow for the Lord, allow for God to show you that He has contingencies for the things that I can't make happen.